Welcome to our Day 2 Road to Cheltenham reflection on what's happened here at the Cheltenham Festival. Ruby alongside as ever. We started the day with a bit of a damp squib, didn't we, with the news that not only is Altior not running in the Cream of the Champion Chase, but not Chacun Pour Soi either.
It was a sickener for connections for Willie Mullins, Paul Townend, Richard, Susanna Ritchie, Stonebrook. Such a simple thing, Lydia, that'll be gone tomorrow, but stopped them running today. An absolute, and I think it sort of deflated the whole day a little bit, or it felt like it did, to get that close. But I suppose you're never there till you're at the start, are you?
It's true, and then all eyes were on Defi Desoy for Philip Hobbs and Barry Geraghty, but in the end he didn't turn up either.
No, he didn't, and was beaten really early. I was standing with AP watching it, and Barry's body language from so early in the race was not what you wanted to see. And he landing over fences, Barry was dropping his rear end into the saddle landing, trying to get him back on the bridle. But look, the history books are going to say Politolog won the champion chase, and he did. And to be fair to him, he has always turned up at all the big events for the last number of years, and there's such thing as deserving one. He probably did.
Absolutely. 5th Cheltenham Festival appearance for Politolog, sent out by Harry Skelton, John Hales' choice of rider, and kept fresh by Paul Nicholls. Now, you work for Paul and you know how good he is at targeting a race and having a plan.
Yes, give Paul Nicholls a horse and a date and it will turn up ready for it. He was a brilliant trainer performance from him, and they said about it tactically, Harry was very good on him. I must say I was delighted for Harry Skelton. He is a very nice human being to go along with being a very good jockey, and it was a deserved big winner for him. He said about it on Politolog from the word go, and to watch him jumping past here and early in the back straight, he was just spectacular. Now, he did put down on him at the 5th last. The horse thought, I'm not doing that, Harry, I'm going to take another half a stride here, and was very neat at it. But it was a really good performance in what turned out to be a disappointing race, I suppose.
It was a bit of a procession, wasn't it? Not much changed in it, really.
No, it didn't. But that's just, that's the look of the draw, or I don't know what way you put it, but what could have been the race of the week turned out to be not.
There will be others, then there'll be other days with Defi Desoy as well, but great to see Politolog winning. Let's talk about Envoi Allen, shall we, who the week was the focus of so many people's week. They were thinking briefly about going for the Supreme. They've ended up sticking to the Ballymore, and in the end he really, really impressed me. I was really impressed by home turn to the last hurdle, the way he picked those leaders up.
So would I. When you got the side on camera angle of it, that you're actually moving with him, you see how quickly he picked up and the turn of foot that he showed. He's an exceptionally talented racehorse. I thought Davy Russell gave him a really good ride because he got into a pocket up to the 4th last, but Davy never panicked, never went about trying to get out of where he was. He just waited till it happened for him. But a big getaway had gotten a very easy lead for Paul Townend and poached the lead on him, but Davy didn't panic and just reeled him in gradually and won decisively. He's a horse with huge talent, Lydia. Will he go chasing, or is he going to go champion hurdle? I don't know.
I was going to ask you that.
Look, to me, he was a pointer. He was bought as a Gold Cup horse. I think that's the road that can go.
He still flicks over hurdles, though, doesn't he? He's got a good technique.
He always has been very accurate, and he's a very good jumper. But I don't know. Will they go champion hurdle? I think they go chasing him.
He's got the size for it, hasn't he?
I think that's what he was bought to be, and I think that's the road they'll go. But that's only my opinion. They could do something different, and Ballymore winners have a better record as champion hurdlers than Supreme winners, as we know.
The big getaway in 3rd, he would be a future chaser as well, isn't he?
He looks it. I think the big breakaway was probably a bit disappointing. The big getaway ran a blinder, and Sporting John was also a bit disappointing.
He really was. He was very, very flat. The Hobbses think that he was just wrong. They've had a sour day, haven't they, the Hobbs? The poor team.
I know, but that's racing. I mean, can you imagine Willie Mullins watching the champion chase and then eventually has a winner with Fernie Hollow in the bumper? But unfortunately that is racing. It can just never leaves you high for too long anyway.
Let's talk about the RSA and that tactically, because Allaho and Minella Indo seemingly had it between them for most of the race.
They did, and they were both a bit keen through the first a couple of furlongs, then they switched off. It was a good even gallop. They both jumped really well, and Champ was off the pace wide. Barry said the ground was better out there, and that's why he was riding him wide. You think it was for jumping? I'm not so sure.
I didn't think he jumped well.
I thought he jumped adequate.
I thought, so that's such a jockey's answer. And if I asked Barry Geraghty about how he jumped, he'd tell me he jumped absolutely fine.
He won, didn't he?
He did win. He jumped well enough. He jumped well enough.
Yeah, right. We'll agree to disagree. But he stayed the best.
Yeah.
Ultimately, he stayed the best, and I think maybe if Manila Indo had flew the last, but Rachel sat to let him pop it. He didn't make much effort to pop it. He made him very little effort to do anything, stayed standing, but that definitely knocked a bit of the wind out of his sail. And whilst he was getting back to beat Allaho, Champ just came powering home and ran them all down.
It was a remarkable performance from Champ. The second and third were knackered, weren't they, at the end?
They were out on their feet at the end, but I'd say it was real holding ground, and I don't know, it might actually benefit from rain more than anything.
And will the Mullins team regret not running Allaho in the Marsh tomorrow?
Oh, what's hindsight? Poor man's foresight.
Come on, they were between the two, weren't they?
I don't think Willie ever was. I think Willie was convinced he was an RSA horse for a long time, and yeah, maybe he just learns to settle a bit better. That would be his trip, but he doesn't show you massive speed at home, so I can see why he was leaning towards the RSA, and he always has been.
Big day for JP McManus, 4 winners, 5 overall. If you had 4 winners today, who'd have thought it would be without Defi Desoy?
You got some price on that. But there was some really good performances. I thought Damn the Companion. Did I get that one right?
That's very nice. Don't ask me about the French. I had to get a translator to do the interview.
I thought she was a really good winner of the Coral. Travelled super for Barry, and it was interesting actually when they faced down the back. When you looked at it, you had Paul Townend, Davy Russell, Barry Garrity, Nico de Bonville in a line just behind the pace. That was obviously the place to be. I always think that in handicaps, when you get a cluster of top riders together, you're kind of thinking they're all in the right place, and that was evident in the Coral Cup. And
Easy's Land, who downed Tiger Roll, the People's Champion.
And I thought Jonathan Plouganou, I thought he was great to watch. I thought you watch it back, it was interesting how he got himself onto the inside of every bend. He was over and back the racecourse for a guy with very little experience around here. Now, it wasn't the winning of the race. I just thought it was good riding to watch. Tiger Roll travelled okay for Keith Donoghue, but you could always see he was trying to get him on the bridle rather than ever thinking I'm in control here. And he got tired in the end. The ground was just too testing for him.
And he hasn't had the same season, has he?
No, he hasn't. And it'll be interesting to see how much he improves from that to the Grand National, because he has to improve a bit.
He does. Redemption for Mark Walsh as well after a difficult day yesterday, knocked sideways in the Supreme, mistake 2 out in the Arca with Fakadidaris. He was on Aramax and the Boodles. Yeah,
but that's the life of a jockey. You just have to keep looking forward. It's all about the next race, because the last race is history and can't be changed. There's the ability to refocus and keep going.
Well, that's funny, because you're smarting about what happened in the last race, in which Willie Mullins' first string seemingly appreciate it was beaten by Fernie Hollywood, Paul Townend on board.
Yeah, but I'm a pundit now. See, so it's different. But yeah, no, I was all over appreciated. I really fancied him, and Fernie Hollow came from way off the pace. I'd say possibly the third bumper winner to come from almost last in recent years.
Relegate would be another one.
Fiona, Relegate, now Fernie Hollow. Just an interesting trend. Maybe it's not a trend, but I thought appreciated. Had a great run through the race, travelled super. Don't need any excuse, unfortunately. I can't find an excuse.
Unfortunately.
Willie Mullins, why did you bring Fernie Hollow?
So those are our thoughts on day 2. Make sure you join us again tomorrow.